Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Access. In this module, I want to talk to you about how you can create a form, an input form based on two tables. I'm using the shop database as an example, and this is part 2 of the database series. Just to recap, we have 3 tables so far: a table of customers, a table of sales, there's no sales, and a stock table. If I get rid of these, for now, I want to create a form that will have the customers on it and tell me what sales they've had. Now this will happen automatically because of the relationships that I did in the last video. So if I just recap that, under database tools, relationships, you can see them there. So one customer can have many sales, so one-to-many relationship, and one item of stock can be sold many times. So I'll just close that down. Now if I have this highlighted and select create form, so I'm in the forms group, form, it will automatically generate the form that I want. So that's customer ID 1. And if I navigate through them, or a couple of them, it just goes through each person. Now if I go back to this one, I need to edit this slightly because I don't want that as a title. So if I go into design, I can just change that title to just leave it as customers. I don't need it to say anything other than that. I do need to save this though. Save, and I'm going to put FRM in front of that. So it's a form that's looking at the table customer sales. I'm going to put at the end so I can look at the name that I've used and work out what it's doing. So that's okay. I also want to have a lookup feature, a little drop down list, so I can select a customer and it will take me to their record straight away. Now at the moment, if I click on this, all of this layout, if I click that button there, this is all glued together in a layout option, and I don't want that to be the case. So what you need to do there is you go to arrange, and they need to say remove layout, and now these can all be adjusted individually if you so wish. I'm going to leave them like that for now. The drop down list I'm going to create in this space here, and to do that I need to go back to form design, and this is the option in the controls area that I need, combo box. Click that, draw a small rectangle, and then the wizard will appear, and you've got 3 options there. So I want this box to get a value from another table query, and I'll type the value, or I'll find a record. That's the one I want. Then you go next. You add the fields that you want, so I just want those 2 fields. Next, and that gives you a little preview of what it's going to look like. Next, customer name, I'll put search customers, so that's what the title is going to be, and then finish, and then that's sitting there. So if I put my mouse on this rectangle, or this square should I say, I can move it independently of the field and sit it on top like that. Just make sure that's okay, and then I can just test this out in form view. So let's have a look at that. So if I drop this down, it gives me a list of customers. If I select Ann Jones, it takes me to Ann Jones, which is great. That's exactly what I want. Now if I make a sale for Ann, if I say she bought bread buns and she bought 10 bread buns, I've noticed a little mistake or something that I'm not happy with. I would like to know what the price was, and I want to know the date that sale is. I've got the date of sale in this table, and really I don't really want it in this table. So what I'm going to do is go into table design. So I'll close this down and I'll get rid of that one and add it into this table, and I also want a calculated field in this table. And then because I've already created this form, it would be quicker for me just to do it again rather than trying to edit this. So let me just show you what I mean. If I close that down, I'll save this at the moment. So in the sales table now should have just one record, Ann Jones, but I don't know what that price is. So if I close that down, So first of all, let's go into design on customers, design. So don't want that anymore. Let's get rid of that because I need to put that in the other table, in the sales table. So if I go into design on the sales table, I'm going to put it there, date of sale, and then that's a date time field, and we did the input mask for this, input mask, so people can only a set way, save, short date, so it's like that, finish, save this. Now I said I wanted a calculated field as well, so stock, that's going to be a lookup, quantity. Now what I need to do there is to basically create a query that's going to calculate how much the stock is when it's sales. So what I need to do here is leave this as it is. So I'm happy with that, date of sale, close that, go to the stock table. Let's just recap that. So what I want here is a calculated field that's going to tell me that 6 of these at £1 is worth £6, so the value of my stock is £6. So if I just go into design on that, and I'll put that as stock value, and then it's going to be a calculated field. Just press enter on that. So basically it's, what do I want? I want quantity times price per item. So I'll do either way, double click on that, times quantity. That should work. Click OK. Tells you what that is down there. Have a look at it, save it. So that gives that has worked. So that's giving me the actual total stock value in the stock table. I've got 6, so that's worth £6. So I'm happy with that. Now let's go back to the sales table. So when somebody sales it, I've put today's date in there for that sale. I just did control semicolon there to get today's date, same in Excel. So that was the date of the sale, so I'm happy with that. So now let's create a, when I look at this form that I've created already, that's not going to have that information in. You see I've deleted that, so it's come out of here. This has appeared though, so this is okay. So all I need to do is go into design. If I go into design on this one and get rid of that field altogether because it's no longer existing, and just double check that it's not in there anymore, which is not, so that's great. So I can push this up a little bit and save that and just have a quick look like so. So I'm on myself. If I map myself, let's go, if I go bread buns 1, and I'll have 10 of them as well. Date of sale was today, like so. So far so good. Sales coming in. What I need to do later on in a different video is every time somebody spends money or buys something, that's going to reduce the stock level. So obviously in this little video alone I've spent or used 20 bread buns. I don't even think I had 20 bread buns to start with. Bread buns 6, so I'm minus 12, 14 even, can't add up. So that would not be allowed. I need that to not allow that. So later on I'll create a video where we can update the stock, and if there's not enough stock it will stop me making that sale. So I'll close that off for now, and I will close this off for now. What I want to do now, I'm just going to close that. I want to create a query that's going to tell me how much each sale has been. So create query, query design, I'm going to add all 3 tables, sales table and stock. So what I want is customer from the sales table, stock, quantity, and then if I run that, that's telling me, yep, and then if I do the date as well, date of sale, so it's going to put the date in there, which is both today. Now I want the total price. So what I want here in this field, in this column, is the price of the item times the quantity sold, and I'm going to use the expression builder there. So going on that, and I need to open up this tables. So it's sales quantity times stock price per item. That's what I want. Click OK to that. it's got expression as a title. Just going to do Shift F2 on that so I can see what I'm doing. So I want to call that order value. As long as you've got a semicolon between that and the actual formula, that'll work. Let's look at that. Click OK. Let's have a look. So £10. So these bread buns are £1 each. So 10 bread buns is £10. Expensive bread buns. So that's working. So that query, I can save that. I'll call that QRY sales. And then I'll close that. Now we've got a problem. So when I open this, this is the actual table just telling me what's been ordered, sales, but it hasn't got that on it. So I could create another table, another form with this query underneath. So that's what I'm going to do. So if I click on that, let's just create form, see what it comes up. So that's just a form based on that. So that's no good. I don't want that. So let's go back to customers. So I'm going to do this manually. So we're going to create form design, go to the property sheet. It's got record source there, so I need to select customers, and then that will give me the fields. Then I can add all these fields if I want all these fields, which I will do for this. Pull them across. Am I going to mess these up? No, you need to mess these up and fix this because this is obviously truncated a little bit, these labels. But for now, I'm just going to leave it. Now I want to do my little subform. So I'm up here again on the controls area, and these are all the controls, and this is the subform support button, which I need to just draw, and then it will ask me use an existing form, no, next, query, that one. So I want them across, and it's picking up the link customer ID, next, and I'll just leave it as that. You can rename that if you want, and then finish. And then you usually have to make it a little bit longer. There's not a lot of fields in there, so it might not be too bad. Let's have a look. So we've got customer, bread buns, blah blah blah. So these can, if I double click on these, you can bring these down. Customer ID. So that's a duplication to this. So it's whether you want to get rid of that or not. So if I go back into design, you've got no option there really. You can actually just click on that and that, delete. See what happens when you do that. Okay, let's go next. Okay, that's working, and I haven't got a duplicate in the form, and there's enough space. So now I can save this form. This wants to be FRM stock sales, let's say, stock sales. And then that's going to be my main form. So this one I don't really want anymore, so I'm going to get rid of that. And basically that's one of the things that you have to do when you're creating a database, is have some sample data and then just try it out, make sure it's doing what you expect it to do. So like I said, you need to fix this. These are all truncated. You can actually get rid of these labels if you want, so you don't need them on. So if I need a new customer, I'll have to add some buttons. I haven't got that lookup anymore, so I need to go do that again. So that was a combo box. Stick it over here. Find a record. Now I want customer name, ID, customer name, next. Yep, next. Search for customer. That'll do. Probably a bit wordy. Finish. Shift that on top. Have a look. Check it works. Check. And Jones. Yep. Dave Jones hasn't bought anything. And then you'd need another button, which I'll do at a different time, to click so you can create a new customer. So far, the sales table, I've just got these two items in. The sales query is looking at that and giving you the total order value. We need to sort out the sales table, not the sales table, the stock table, that nobody can order things that aren't in stock or can't buy things that aren't physically there, because when you walk into a bakery there will be 6 bread buns, that's it, or 25 pies. You can't buy 26 pies if there's only 25 there. So close that. So that'll be on a different video, but that's all I want to talk about on this one. So we've created a form that is looking at two separate objects, a table and a query. We did it first of all looking at two tables. Now we've got a form looking at a table and a query. So the next thing we're going to do is that update. So that'll be the next video, how you can update that stock table so that it's correctly counting how much is left when you sell something. So hopefully that little video has been of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.